Hello, I'm John Bachman. The United States has a new Attorney General. Loretta Lynch is now the 83rd Attorney General of these United States, and she says she's ready to change the Justice Department for the better.
To not just represent the law and to enforce the law, but to use it to make real the promise of America, the promise of fairness, the promise of equality, of liberty and justice for all.
Well, she is now the first African-American female to lead the Justice Department. This after a 5-month-long deadlock over her nomination. One of the issues Loretta Lynch will have to deal with is the relationship between communities and their police departments. Funeral services are now underway for Freddie Gray, a black man who died in police custody recently. Mourners are gathering at Baltimore's new Shiloh Baptist Church. Congressman Elijah Cummings is speaking at today's services. And now Baltimore police say they've received death threats from gang members over the weekend. Protests in Baltimore turned violent. You can see protesters smashing these cars, at least walking through the streets here. You saw that video earlier. They were also looting convenience stores and throwing tables and chairs through storefront windows. This was some of the more peaceful protesting. 6 officers were injured. Police say they arrested a total of 34 people. And also underway today, the trial of James Holmes. His defense team is arguing that he was insane when he opened fire at a suburban Denver movie theater 3 years ago. 12 people died, 70 were injured. Some family members of the victims say justice can't come soon enough.
The real justice is going to happen when this animal leaves this earth.
Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty against the 27-year-old Holmes. And former President Jimmy Carter weighs in on the Iran nuke deal and says President Obama is doing the right thing.
And I think if we abandon that effort, then I believe it's almost inevitable that Iran will go ahead and develop some kind of nuclear capability that we don't like.
There from a former president, and some folks now on the Iran, or some of the talks actually are taking place in New York today. Secretary of State John Kerry and his Iranian counterpart are at the UN today. This comes as a bill that would allow Congress to review the Iranian nuke deal, written by Senator Bob Corker, gets ready to hit the Senate floor. It is facing challenges, though, from several so-called poison pill amendments, including one from presidential candidate Marco Rubio. He wants to require Iran to recognize Israel. And police have now arrested a man who robbed a New Jersey jewelry store. It's really the video here that makes this story. This is the man in jail after police say he stole thousands of dollars worth of necklaces. Surveillance video caught the whole thing. You can see the two guys going head-to-head right here. They trying to steal the jewelry. Then the one man strikes the suspect. The suspect did manage to get away. Police later found him, though the store owner suffered only minor injuries. He is doing okay. And speaking of expensive jewelry, whether you do or don't drop an Apple Watch, that's up to you. Probably shouldn't do it, though, because this is what's going to happen. Dropped it one time, it did okay. After the second drop on the face, though, you can see it right here. Well, that's when it did okay. Eventually, it was fractured. Don't drop it on the ground if you're going to spend $350 on it. Other folks will do that for you on the internet. We've got another update coming up for you soon.